Hi, I'm John Huddleston. Welcome to The Big Picture. Today we kick off our series of meeting with Virginia lawyers by introducing you to Jay Weinberg. For 50 years, Jay Weinberg has practiced in the city of Richmond with the law firm of Hirschler Fleischer. Last month, he was recognized as a 50-year practitioner at the annual meeting of the Virginia State Bar. Jay is not only an iconic lawyer, but he is a consummate community servant.
Well, I guess it started as a child. My parents simply inculcated that virtue in their 3 children, and it was an obligation. It wasn't a choice. They fortunately set the example by being very active in civic affairs, and wanted to make sure their sons and daughters did the same thing. So when I finished law school, I remember the last day the dean telling us that as lawyers we were going to be experts in democracy and practitioners of humanity. And that's an awesome responsibility if you think about it. And I finally resolved in my own mind that I could perform the first part of that admonition by being the best lawyer I could possibly be, and the second part by doing some civic work, charitable work, plus affording me the opportunity to meet people, which I always enjoy doing. But we've always felt in our firm, and certainly I personally, that a commitment to the community in which you live simply makes you a better lawyer because you know more about the people and the businesses that you're dealing with. Because some younger lawyers are, when a firm overemphasizes billable hours to the exclusion of anything else, you find that younger lawyers are not as interested. Therefore, we give credit for the same as billable hours for certain types of civic and community work. And that's the incentive that young people need today to do their fair share of pulling their oar in the community.
Not only for balancing their life, but to be the good citizen lawyer.
Exactly.
So.
You know, unfortunately, the one change that I find most difficult to accept is, I think, when we got out of law school many years ago, we entered a profession. I hate the thought of thinking I'm going to retire from a business. The rule of law is a lawyer's concept and a judge's concept, and it's just turned out far beyond our expectations. It really has.
This particular courtroom, as of to date, is the only one in the world that's full size. There is no other courtroom like it. I have just heard that a few months ago, Nuremberg has decided to rebuild their courtroom now that we have made such an impact. And the reason we were able to make such an impact is because the legal community of Virginia got with us and supported us in the dream to build this such important platform for education, not only for young people, but for lawyers from the universities that are coming to see where the rule of law was established in 1946 through a whole dramatic incident between the Russians, the French, the British, and the Americans, where our system was developed. Even the guilty were innocent until they were proven guilty in this very courtroom.
At the end of a board meeting, Jay Ibsen, our executive director, said that he had been up half the night thinking about the fact that the story of the Holocaust has never been told in its complete form. That we know all the horrors of the 6.5 million Polish people and the children who were all killed, really by a suicidal maniac. But we never covered the point of what happened to these tyrants and dictators, and that we needed to tell how justice was finally done, how they were held accountable, and what the rule of law did for society in holding all of these people over my shoulder accountable for their crimes. And so I thought about it, and I just said, what a perfect project for lawyers to engage in, to show society that the rule of law is not just an abstract thing. It's very tangible. and it's what every lawyer devotes a significant portion of his daily life to.
One of the, I think, fascinating things about the Virginia Holocaust Museum is that it not only looks backward to tell the story, but it is a living, breathing museum in its programs and educational structure. Is that fair to say?
It is, and one very significant point there is just recently the Virginia legislature passed an act that requires the teaching of the Holocaust as part of the standards of learning process. So this museum also trains teachers to teach the Holocaust, the history of the Holocaust. And we realize that some 35,000 to 40,000 people a year walk through this building. Some 28,000 to 30,000 of them are school children from all over the Commonwealth and really from adjoining states.
Jay, it's been my pleasure
pleasure.
Today. I very much appreciate this. Thank you for your good works. Virginia truly is for good lawyers. Which Virginia lawyer is as comfortable on a canoe trip as he is in the courtroom? Join us next time when we meet a lawyer from Richmond who lives by the motto, "Be prepared."